Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This may be a little bit of an earlier morning for you because we just got a brand new trailer for Marvel Studios' Eternals. And first of all, I just want to point out that they dropped this trailer at 3 a.m. Like, I don't know why they did this. If you watch my channel, you know I did a video yesterday about this because we knew we were getting a new Eternals trailer today. But, usually these trailers drop at 9 a.m., not 3 a.m. But for some reason it did, and I was already up anyway because I was starting to watch the new episode of Titans Season 3, which, by the way, if you like Titans, then definitely go check out my other channel, The DC Life. I'm going to be posting a review and breakdown for the new episode today, later, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so Eternals, we just got a brand new trailer, the final trailer, which I think this is technically our first full trailer though too, because the other one was a teaser trailer. But yeah, so we just got a brand new trailer along with a new poster, which looks really cool here as well. But there's some really cool stuff in this trailer because the teaser, there was some cool stuff, cool cinematography and everybody looks cool in their suits and all that stuff. But this trailer really gets you into more so the story and also just shows you some really cool shots. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. But of course, before I go ahead and get into this, let me know down in the comments below, guys, what are you most excited to see in Eternals? So we start off the trailer with a conversation between Icarus and Ajax, of course, Richard Madden's character and Salma Hayek's character. And they're having a conversation about Thanos and how he snapped everybody out of existence, or half the universe. And then, of course, the Hulk and the Avengers, they brought everyone back to life with just a snap of their fingers. And then Ajax explains that the sudden return of all these people across the universe created the necessary energy needed to start up the emergence. And that seems like what this whole movie is about, is preventing the emergence, or at least stopping it, or trying to. And while it doesn't completely explain what the emergence is, you have to kind of assume, alright, emergence, that's got to be something emerging, most likely the Deviants. Maybe there's Deviants hiding on Earth or something like that, similar to actually what we just saw in the Tomorrow War on Amazon Prime Video, which, by the way, is a great movie. How you had the aliens, there was this crazy spaceship underneath the earth and in these caves and stuff, where these aliens have been here for years. So we could be seeing something similar here, and we see which here could be a flashback where you have the earth, something crash lands on earth, and then you just get to see this island or some sort of rocky area is just getting destroyed by water. And it's crazy. That's a big thing of this movie, is nature. That's kind of Chloe Zhao's strong suit, and you really see that represented here. And then Icarus is all right, how much time do we have? We have 7 days. So it seems like this movie will kind of take place, for the most part, over the span of 7 days. We know that there's going to be lots of flashbacks and lots of stuff taking place over the span of thousands and thousands of years, because that's how long the Eternals have been here on Earth. But it seems like the main part of it, or at least present day, will be taking place in about 7 days. So I'm definitely excited to see that. Marvel Studios. I always love seeing the new specially designed Marvel Studios logos for each project. So this one definitely looks really cool with the nice neon yellow lights. That looks great. So you have a great shot here, which I'm assuming is a flashback to the Eternals when they're on their ship, where you've got them all huddled around this circle. It looks like they've got some sort of statue there, which I'm assuming is one of the Celestials. Of course, in the comics, the Celestials are the beings that create the Eternals, and we get some other good looks at those characters in this trailer, and a little bit more explanation of what their whole purpose is and why they created the Eternals. So we get a great shot here again of Salma Hayek's Ajax. She's got some sort of golden orb going into her neck. That could be connected to her powers, or I don't exactly know, but it looked cool anyway. And then we get a great shot here of, we can see the Eternal ship, which we saw in the first trailer, how it just kind of emerged on Earth. going around the sun. And, you can really tell that if they're that close to the sun, yeah, they gotta have some crazy powers. That's gotta be a pretty powerful ship as well, because, if we tried that, we wouldn't be lasting too long there. So the Eternals are definitely some powerful characters. But then they go on to talk about how they arrived on Earth. And you've got this great distance shot here where you've got the Eternals. You've got 4 of them there, and then 1 flying up at the top. And then it explains that, they arrived on Earth 7,000 years ago, and they were sent here to protect the humans from the Deviants. And then we get our first official look at the Deviants. We got a little glimpse and teases of them in the first trailer or teaser, but this is our first full look at the Deviants, and definitely very, very different from their look in the comics, but I think they look great. They're just these crazy, disgusting, scary looking monsters, and I think they're definitely going to be a big threat for our Eternals in this film. And then we get a great shot. This is probably one of the best shots of the trailer, where you have Icarus using his cool Superman-style laser eyes to take down the Deviant. That is so cool. And then we get to see Dane Whitman, who of course is going to be played by Kit Harington in this movie from Game of Thrones. And Dane Whitman in the comics is Black Knight. So we don't know for sure if that's exactly something we're going to see from him in this movie, if he's going to become the Black Knight and battle alongside the Eternals. We don't exactly know. Obviously, we're hoping for that. But we get a nice conversation here between him and Circe, who's played by Gemma Chan, because they're also actually going to be having a romantic relationship, which is going to be also kind of interesting to see the reaction from Icarus, because when we start off this movie, when Icarus and the other Eternals arrive on Earth, Icarus and Circe are in a romantic relationship, so now there's kind of a love triangle. But yeah, so things get interesting here, because Dane basically asks the question that we've all been asking about these characters. If they've been here on Earth for over 7,000 years, what have they been doing? Why didn't they not help out when Thanos came and all these other horrible events throughout history? Why did they just stand by on the sideline? And as you say in this, we actually get some great shots of possibly a flashback. I'm not completely sure, but this does actually look like Black Knight, because again, this is the character of Dane Whitman, who is the character of Black Knight. We've got a character here riding on a black horse, a cool, noble steed, and this looks to be some sort of knight. That it's super blurry and hard to tell, but it does look like, just based off the colors that you can make out of this, the Black Knight costume from the comics, where you've got that cool black helmet with the gold trim, you got the cool red logo on the chest, and of course he's wielding that sword. So definitely, I think that is our first look at Black Knight. And again, I don't think he's going to be featured hugely in this movie, but the little we get of him, I'll take, because I think he's a really cool character, and I'm really excited to see him here. But then Circe informs us why this is the case, why they never interfered, because they were specifically instructed to never interfere in human conflict unless it involved the Deviants. And then of course Dane is like, yeah, who told you that? And we get a great shot here of Phastos and Ajax, where it seems like this is maybe one of those scenarios where something terrible has happened in humans, and the Eternals just can't do anything. They just have to stand by and watch. But then she actually reveals what this is. Who is actually telling them that they cannot interfere. And she doesn't actually say it, but we get a great shot here of Arishem, the Celestial. So this is one of those Celestials that, again, is responsible for the creation of the Eternals, and he looks so good here. We've seen great shots of these characters in promo art and concept art, but it looks so cool here. I mean, he looks so awesome. We did actually also get to see a Celestial in Guardians of the Galaxy, actually a couple of them, because Nowhere, of course, is actually the severed head of a Celestial, and then also in the flashback with the Collector, where he was explaining the Infinity Stones, we saw Eson, the Destroyer, or Eson the Conqueror, something like that, where he had the Power Stone. So this is another one of the Celestials from the comics, and specifically Arishem. And again, he looks great here. This November, as long as it doesn't get delayed again, but hopefully that doesn't happen at this point. So then we get a nice shot here of Icarus saying, well, we need to get everybody back together because like this is a serious threat. So it's time to get the band back together. So we get some great shots here of our various members. We've got Barry Keoghan's Druig, who is rumored to be one of the villains of this movie. We get a nice shot of Sprite, who is actually an adult in a child's body, so that's definitely going to be an interesting character. We get a great shot here of Angelina Jolie's character of Thena. Looks like she's maybe sparring with Gilgamesh, because in the comics they actually have a very tight bond and very close relationship, so nice to see that they're actually continuing that here in the film. So that looks great. And then we've got some other characters showing up here, including Kumail Nanjiani's Kingo. So he looks great. And she's like, oh yeah, hi, I'm Angelina Jolie, and now I'm in the Marvel Universe. So yeah, and you got a nice shot of Sprite. She's looking all cool. Eternals walking in action there. You get some great jokes here. That's definitely not something I was expecting. There's some pretty good comedy in this trailer as well, so I like that. We're introduced to the character of Phastos, played by Brian Tyree Henry. He is actually kind of like he's kind of the tech guy of the Eternals, even though he doesn't actually use tech. It's actually from his powers, but he can basically create any tool and just manufacture anything like that. So he's the one that, now they've recruited him once again, he is able to bring their ship out of retirement, and so they can bring it back into battle. So yeah, this is another thing that I was 100% sure they were going to highlight this, from Academy Award winning director Chloe Zhao. Of course, she won Best Picture for her film Nomadland at the Oscars. So of course they're going to highlight that. Like, yeah, we got an Oscar winning director in a Marvel movie. Let's go. So yeah, that is awesome. We get this great shot that we also saw in the teaser trailer, but again, it's just such a good shot of all the Eternals. They look great. Most of these characters we already saw in the trailer. I think everyone except Makari, who's a speedster. So there's her on the left. Then we get just some great shots of just some demonstrations of the various characters' powers. There's Sprite doing some cool little hand fireworks. She looks great there. We got Thena. It looks like we've got Gemma Chan's Circe, and this is actually something we saw again in the teaser trailer, where this looks like it's when the Eternals first arrive on Earth. So you've got Circe here, and she is like teaching some of the humans like how to do different things. If you got Icarus just staring at her like, oh yeah, he got the look at her, because again, at this point in their life, they're in love, they're a couple, and he's looking at her like that. This is a beautiful shot here. I love how you got Dane Whitman's character and Sprite, and he's like holding this rose petal, because there was a shot before this where it says something about you protect the ones you love, and looked like a bus was going to run him over or something like that, and Sprite actually turned it into a bunch of rose petals. So that's one of those things that's going to be really visually beautiful in this movie, is just the demonstration of these characters' powers and how they use them in various different ways. Then this is a little confusing, because you have Circe here once again, and she's touching something, and I personally have no idea what this is, because again, I don't really know much about the Eternals. So if this is something from the comics, if you have any idea what this could possibly be, of course let me know in the comments below. But definitely looks very, very interesting there. We get to see Kingo in action here, shooting some cool finger lightning laser bolts. And then we get our first look at another Celestial. At least I believe this is another Celestial. I'm not sure of what its name is, but he's got this cool green look. The glowing eyes looks awesome. The Celestials look great here. Thena is going into action. She looks great. Another great shot of Icarus with those cool laser eyes. He looks amazing. And then another one of the best shots of the trailer is where we get this interaction between Crow and Thena. And in the comics, these characters actually have a romantic relationship for a time, and Thena is actually tied to Thanos, at least in relation. So this is a really interesting relationship that I'm interested to see, because you've got this great shot here of Thena. Her eyes are all white, something is happening to her, and it is not going good. And then you've got our first official look at Crow, who, as far as we're aware, is the main villain of this movie, or at least one of the main villains. He is the leader of the Deviants, and we still don't know for sure of who's voicing the character. We did hear him speak in this trailer, and he says, you can't protect any of them. I'm still not completely sure who's voicing him. There's been multiple rumors of who's voicing the character. One of them was Diego Luna. I do think it did kind of sound like Diego Luna, but then another rumor was that Dan Stevens was going to be voicing him. So I really don't know for sure who's doing the voice, but definitely a very chilling, scary look for this character, because just like the other Deviants, a very different look from the comics when it comes to Crow. But I think this is a much more scary version of the character, because he just looks more like, the face looks so humanoid, but it's like without skin and like without flesh and hair and all that stuff, and it just looks like really disturbing. So he's gonna be a great villain. But then you get the ending of the trailer is with Icarus taking down some cool Deviants here, and oh no, he's trapped, and obviously he's gonna make it out of here good. And then I love the ending here, again bringing in that comedy where you've got, looks like Icarus and Circe are going around and recruiting the Eternals. Looks like they've gone to Phastos, his apartment where he's been living for the last couple of years since the Eternals disbanded. And of course, because Phastos is like, you know, the weapons tech guy, of course Icarus is like, oh, I bet you've got like the perfect safe house here. And then he looks at his table and he's like, oh, what's this? Is this table made out of vibranium or something? And then of course, because he's so powerful, he smashes it, and the table just breaks, and Phastos is just like, no, Fall Collection, IKEA. Yeah, of course it's from IKEA. So yeah, that's so hilarious. It's like, even these Eternals, they're just gonna get a regular table from IKEA, just like the rest of us. So that was honestly a really funny way to end off the trailer. And again, this movie is coming out November 5th. But guys, that was the final trailer, and also technically first trailer, unless you count the teaser trailer, for Eternals, Marvel Studios Eternals, the next Marvel Studios MCU Phase 4 movie after Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I am definitely excited for this movie. Again, as I was talking about yesterday in my video, saying that we were getting a new trailer today, based off the teaser, like, I thought the movie looked cool from a cinematography standpoint and all that stuff, but you know, I wasn't really excited for this movie. But this trailer definitely, now that we've gotten some more good looks at these characters, we finally know a little bit more about this story, about how the Eternals are getting back together to try and prevent the emergence. I'm definitely a lot more excited. I'm not hyped, but I'm still excited, and probably as we get close to the release date of the movie, I'll get more and more excited as we go. That's, you know, honestly how things usually work. But yeah, guys, I think this was a great trailer, and I'm super excited to see more from Marvel Studios Eternals. But of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about this brand new, the final trailer for Marvel Studios Eternals? Let me know all your thoughts, theories, and predictions for this movie in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel